We built this city on rock and...
Welcome back to Towns. Although it's only been about 5 seconds since we said goodbye. Say hello, Velerious.
Hello from the geologist Rockbeard.
That's a bit of behind the scenes there. Yes, this is about the 4th episode in a row we're recording, isn't it?
Yep.
Because that's the way it goes, people.
When we do record these towns, we do bulk record. If your comment is not actually immediately taken into account, we do reply in the video because of the fact that we do bulk record.
Yeah, so it's like when you leave comments, that's why there's usually about 5 or 6 episodes before you actually hear us get around to mentioning it.
Yeah.
And that's just because it's time constraints. Because I work full time and we also have like various interruptions of family and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Plus it's like a lot of you probably game in like, you know, your own room or stuff like
News
that.
said the Goblin King just died. I'll just have to interrupt you there for a sec.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Rocks took him on.
This is a dungeon they've not even explored yet. It's not even the deep dungeon. It's...
Wow.
And there's... Oh, I give up, Velerious. I don't even...
Well, anyway, back when I was saying, people probably game in their rooms and things like that. So, like, you game in your room.
Yeah, I game in my room usually.
Which I'm sat in a dining room, which is shared with obviously family, and obviously they're coming in and out repeatedly.
Yeah, because this whole setup of having us both on the mic isn't something we can do in my room. So it's like it's essentially the den, isn't it, that we're in? And it's
essentially meant to be the dining room, but in other words, like us two eating.
Yeah, no dining gets done in the room. It's essentially a den.
We have a TV and we watch TV, and that's about it. But, and anyone out there who used to play PS2 and everything, don't know if you've heard about it.
Well, this is your big news thing you've been bumming over, isn't
my big news now. Big news.
Tell us your big news.
About 2-3 days ago now, they have just announced of Sony that no more PS2 shall be made.
Yeah, so they've ceased manufacture of the PS2.
So if you have a PS2, I'd suggest putting it in the attic and selling it loads later.
I mean, how many PS2s have we got? 2?
2, I think, yeah. Because we used to play Lego games at Christmas.
Yeah, bit of the old Lego co-op.
I'll say one thing.
Which got some immigrants.
Oh, nice.
Heroin and Jasmine.
If anyone knows of like a Lego game that is actually played over like internet,
none of them are. It's
not at the moment, but someone.
They're all local co-op, even like the new Harry Potter ones and a lot of you.
But if they came out like over the internet,
but I mean, this is another one we could do because like once we finish this series,
we
were on about playing Dead Island, and that would be recorded from my POV. So it's not the same as this where we're doing sort of a local co-op. So we still want to be looking out for a local co-op game to do. And you were sort of set on doing one of the Lego titles, weren't you?
Yeah, because obviously I quite like doing the Lego games and everything, and we did like the voices at the first, didn't we?
Yeah, for the Batman one we did, because they didn't speak on the first Batman one.
Oh god, you had
so I did the cutscenes and I just because there's no text either. It was all just. That was the beauty of that game. There was no speech and there was no script to it. It was all sort of comic action.
Which there is some now, isn't there?
Yeah, and so I just sort of spoke over all the cutscenes, making Robin out to be a complete knobhead, which was very entertaining.
But especially since I had to play Robin all the time.
Yeah, so I mean that's something we could do, but we're open to suggestions if there's any specific single player or local co-op game that people would like to see us.
I mean, the beauty of this is the fact that we can play like a single player game and both of us speak over at the same time.
Yeah, or a local co-op.
Now, I would give an example, but unfortunately, the only one that comes to my mind is not Dungeon Defenders, what's it called? Dungeon Dreadmore. That's the one.
Dungeon Dreadmore. I'm not keen on doing a 2-player commentary on that.
We won't be able to do it on that, but that's what.
I tried doing some Dungeon Dreadmore on my channel, and unfortunately, it's just a bit dull because it takes that long to clear out the top floor.
Yeah.
That it's...
As I said again, though, that'd have to come down to editing.
Yeah.
I mean, now you've got a new computer, you can, like, kind of get the videos rendered faster.
Well, yeah, but it won't be doing it on my computer, that's the point.
Yeah.
Any local ones will be doing on yours.
Which mine at the moment is... It's a mismatch of loads of different things. I upgraded the graphics card myself, I added in a 500GB hard drive.
But you've got the i5 in there, which is quite good for the rendering.
Yeah. I mean, technically, if I could overclock the i5, it'd be even better. But,
I've not even got Frats in Vegas copied over to my new PC yet. It's on the cards. I'm working towards it.
You might be having some slow uploads on your channel.
Right, I've noticed they're not doing much here. I've got a feeling we might be out of stone.
If anyone though does want to see kind of like our single players, they're in our actual channel and such, so you can have a look in there and all that.
Right, I don't want to take out that bit. Let's get this bit.
Shameless promotion there.
Let's do that.
Is that a spider hovering through the ground?
No, it's a night.
Alright.
Yeah, it's a bit weird, isn't it?
Their information clips with the floor.
Yeah, it does.
I hope the town's developers actually watch this and notice a lot of the badness on this, and they're like, "Oh yes, we do need to fix that."
Well, yeah, because it's like
there's a lot of beauty to this game. There is.
There is. It's not a bad game. It's just really badly designed in places.
When you release a game on Steam, right? If you're an indie developer, the first thing I would say is you need to get some kind of updates to it to keep people coming to it. It's like the fact of you don't have to do updates regularly as long as you announce.
It's either release it as a beta, use community feedback and improve it, or just finish the fucking game before you release it.
The main problem I have with finishing the game and putting it straight on Steam is the fact that people will just immediately think, well, it's a bit crap, really.
But that's not the case. As I said, Defender's Quest, fucking loving it. It's a complete finished game. They're already talking about a sequel, and it's really good fun.
It just depends though if people can then learn about it.
Well, yeah, that's the problem.
It's like Don't Starve. I turned around to you and said they're updating it every week, which is a lot more kind of appealing if they're updating it every week and listening to.
It can be, but for me, it's not. I find that less appealing.
Yeah, but you just don't like.
Look how much Minecraft used to piss me off because every fucking time you go and play it, it's updated and everything's changed.
Yeah, they still do that now.
I know.
But it's
the fucking gravel on Minecraft. When we went back on recent, I was like, what the fuck have they done to the gravel? It looks retarded. It doesn't stand out from cobble anymore. It's fucking stupid. It's the same sort of shade of grey.
The main problem I have is
it ruined gravel paths.
With texture packs, you kind of get a different gravel path, but you don't know what every texture pack.
So it means now you pretty much need a fucking a graphic pack, a texture pack.
I mean, the advantage of that is when you upload an adventure map, you can say pure craft.
Just time to go for Sfax pure BD craft.
Fapcraft, eh?
Fapcraft.
Use Fapcraft. Good texture pack that. Every block just says Fap on it in different words.
In different words.
Yeah. Go around the nation finding out how you say Fap in Russia and such. It's probably FAP still.
We should message FPS Russian and say, how do you say Fap in Russian?
Oh yeah, we did discover him recently.
Oh yeah, we discovered. I mean, I assume everyone knows him already because he's got that many fucking subscribers. There's a guy on YouTube. If you haven't seen him, FPS Russian. He's basically just this Russian guy who's got access to top level military hardware, and he's got fucking miniguns and all this fucking modern weaponry. It looks
it's incredible. So funny though that we were sat here dissing guns and everything, but watching something like that is rather pleasing.
It is entertaining. He doesn't kill people with them, but it's
but to show you the damage that a weapon can do and such, and he shows you how to actually use a weapon,
like firing demonstrations and what have you. But he also plays up to his Russian stereotype, which is great because it's fun, isn't it?
I mean, watching him hold a minigun in his hands and shoot it, you've just got to admire the fact that must really kind of pound on your arms, your muscles as you're doing it and such.
I gotta admit, I do. Yeah. I can see why he's very popular.
He does have a lot of views, but obviously we found him when we were looking at the top 10 YouTube, which if you type it in Google, you'll find that straight away. Yeah. And it's just basically the people who are most subscribed on YouTube, starting with people like Ray William Johnson, then you go to Smosh and all that. Then you get down to PewDiePie and things like that.
That's 50p in the PewDiePie jar, please.
I don't mention him that often.
You do. You just did it.
Barrels. Will that be £1, sir?
I'm just trying to get people with some of these weapons on. Where's she got an iron helmet from? I don't remember giving it.
She found it on the floor in the first level because we found it on one of the things.
Oh well, never mind. How are we going? We've still got some heroes, so that's fantastic. God, man, we've talked about so much stuff. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
Well,
I don't even know. We
do have kind of even though we do live together and all this, kind of sitting down and talking like this is actually kind of rare, to be honest.
Yeah, because usually during the day I'm usually at work, and then obviously when I come home, all I want to do is play video games. So it's
so
we do chat over mumble, don't we? But it's it's not very often we get to sit down for 3 fucking hours just chatting and playing.
Because we have this kind of relationship, we do kind of go off on tandems about things and talk about.
We don't go off on tandems, Velerious. Those are bicycles built for two. We don't give them the wrong impression.
I do love being on a tandem with you, darling.
Dibs on the front.
I was in LA Noir the other day, right?
Tangent is what you meant.
I found a tiny little tricycle. And I was like, oh my god, can I ride this? This will be brilliant.
Do you remember when you were playing Dead Rising and I came downstairs and you had a giant goblin head on and you were riding around in a dress and on a tiny girl's bicycle?
It was better than a dress, it was a onesie.
Oh yeah, no, it was a mankini, a unitard.
No, it was a onesie this time that you came down.
Was it?
I had a onesie on, a goblin helmet, Wellington boots, riding on a tiny girl's tricycle, holding a
you were running the zombies over.
It was like a lance that you were meant to use, and I was just running over the zombies. Dead Rising was one of those games, right, that unfortunately did have a flaw.
Games for Windows Live.
No, the timer.
And games for Windows Live.
Well, I don't have that problem with games for Windows Live.
Games for Windows Live, which is a pile of shit.
But anyway, basically, the timer was a bit ridiculous. We kind of like, you had to keep giving Katie the Zombrex as such while doing the side missions.
Yeah.
And you couldn't really go out and just explore everything. Which I would have preferred them to go like, you need to go give Katie some Zombrex, but why not just piss around in the world while you've got some time?
Exactly, it's one of those games that was sandboxy, but it didn't really let you use the sandbox because the missions were so fucking strict you didn't really get to dick around much.
Right, a lot of people say Mafia is sandbox. But every single time you finish a mission, you're starting another mission. Yeah. That's not sandbox.
No, it's not.
Sandbox is when they go, oh, you finish this mission, go over there to get a new mission, and you can go over and get a new mission, or go do something.
Saints Row 2 was one of the best sort of sandboxy games.
The only problem I had with that was kind of like you had to get respect for the missions, which then kind of slowed you down, because if you went in and did some sandbox stuff, and you thought, oh, let's go do missions.
There was a slight problem, and it's proved a problem in the multiplayer, hasn't it? Yeah. Where the respect bars get out of sync, which is really, really annoying.
Yeah, which, to be honest, you should be able to spend both your respect at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely... Well, that game had fucking issues all the way. Oh, while we were talking about gaming news with you on about the PS2 ceasing production, since we last recorded Velerious, THQ went bankrupt.
Oh, did they?
Well, you don't sound so naive. You know full well they went bankrupt because we discussed it a lot and laughed at them.
Can't have been from me since I bought all the Saints Row 3 stuff.
Well, fuck. I didn't buy Saints Row 3, so I'm taking full credit for bringing down THQ. You're all welcome.
But I did buy you Saints Row 3 and you just refused.
I refused it. Fuck off. They can go bollocks, Velerious. It's a pity that they're not completely dead because unfortunately Ubisoft bought them.
At some point I'm going to have to figure out what to do with that Saints Row 3, aren't I?
So that they're still alive technically. We haven't heard the last of THQ, more's the pity.
I was looking at my Steam inventory the other day and I've got some random stuff in there. Like Beat as an iTunes add-on. I am never going to use that. I don't use iTunes. Why would I want this?
Yeah.
iTunes is, to me, a really, really bad idea.
So are we hoping that Electronic Arts is the next one to die, Velerious? Or do we want rid of Ubisoft?
Admittedly, I'm very pissed off at Electronic Arts.
Yes, Monopoly.
Not only Monopoly, but...
I'm very pissed off because
they've been milking Sims, right? Admittedly, an expansion coming out should not cost as much as the original game. That's one of the peeves that I have with them. Secondly, what the hell was all this crap with their kind of online sales system that was always going to fail? What's it called?
Origin.
Yeah, that's the one.
God, don't even get me started on Origin. I just love the fact that they've got the cheek on the Origin FAQ to say, what happens if EA goes out of business? And their answer is just, we're too big to go out of business. We're the biggest in the world. It's like, wow, pretty confident for a company whose share price was falling for about 6 months solid. It's just started going back up, and even then it's not.
You mentioned that, didn't they? Buy PopCap.
They bought PopCap.
So anyone who likes PopCap games and such like that, you're now funding EA when you buy them.
I know. Doesn't that make you feel dirty? Every time you buy a PopCap game, you're putting money in EA's pocket.
I do like PopCap.
I like PopCap. I do like PopCap. You know I do. Plants vs Zombies, man. Bejeweled. That was one of theirs as well.
I can't believe that they got bought out, to be honest.
I know. It's a loss to the video gaming world, is that? Because I'd be willing to bet standards will fall now. But on the other hand, it's good news for what's the other company? The one that makes Luxor. Fucking love Luxor. What are they called?
I can't remember.
They're the other sort of big indie. If you can think of it that way. If you think of it, PopCap has been like one of the big indie companies. The other one, the ones who make Luxor.
The one thing that I know about PopCap as well is they do bring out a lot of games that are like what I would call casual games.
Well, casual games. That's what they do.
But like Dine and Dash and such, I could go play that on Facebook. I don't really want to buy an actual game.
Well, yeah. But
which to me just seems to be the point. I mean, people might like to buy the game of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I bought Bejeweled 3, which was
I got
that's
Bejeweled 3.
you can play that for free pretty much anywhere on the internet. Bejeweled was one of these things that popped up on all sites.
Droplets.
Droplets was someone else. I think that it was a small indie company because I think that's their only
Another
game.
advertisement there. Droplets, quite a good game, guys.
Droplets was quite good.
I like the little leaderboards on it as well, where you can see like how your friends did it and such.
It was fun competing for the leaderboards, I must admit.
You should tell them all about the free game as well, Alien Swarm, that you love.
Alien Swarm, yeah, I do love Alien Swarm.
What was that other one that we got? That was absolutely pants. Alien Breed, was it?
Alien Breed Impact, yeah, that was shit.
I ended up getting
the beauty of that was though, Alien Swarm was like way better than Alien Breed, and then
Alien Swarm is free.
Yeah, but then it got abandoned. So all of its potential was just fucking lost. Its reputation was shredded. And it's like, what? Way to go, Valve. You brought out a proper little diamond there and just left it to rot.
Just do remember that as well, though. It is free if you want to go play it. It's a 4-player.
Yeah, you can still play it, but it's only got the one campaign, and this is the problem. As fun as it is, you eventually get bored of doing the same 7 missions. And it's like, if they'd have just fucking done what they said they were going to do, which was, wait a year, release a second campaign, it would have been great, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that. They just left it.
I mean, obviously, they've got so much going on with making you pay for the Christmas hats.
They were too busy fucking about with TF2.
Do you remember when I found that?
What?
The Christmas hats that you had to pay, like, 15 quid for.
No.
There was, Steam had, like, an expansion for TF2, basically.
Oh, yeah,
all you got was 3 hats out of it.
It was essentially their first attempt at paid DLC this year.
Which is weird, because, like, the crate system works so much better. People bought keys at Christmas to unlock those crates.
It did seem a bit of an odd move.
What you got to think about is, right, people are probably more kind of into buying keys than they would be to buy DLC.
I've got to admit, I mean, it's like, where are they going? This is what worries me about Valve now. Where are they going next? It's like, for a start, I mean, their franchises are getting stale. It's like, I don't really fancy another Left 4 Dead, or another Portal, or another Team Fortress.
One thing as well, I heard this. Nvidia has decided to bring out its own console now. Handheld console.
Considering how much fucking fail Nvidia graphics cards have been over the years, I'm not really worried.
See, I've had an Nvidia graphics card that broke on me, and that changed like my entire
I am worried that it seems like Valve might be working their way towards a console since they launched the big picture.
Well, they did mention the idea of it, yeah. And the other
a Steam-based
well,
console, I can see it being a thing.
I mean, you never know. The big picture might be their way of implementing into Windows 8, which is also a bag issue. But anyway,
I just don't see the point of big picture mode.
Well,
I don't see the necessity for it.
It's for people who play on their TVs.
And as I say, it worries me that they're doing that because they've got nothing else to work on.
We had a friend who used to play on a TV, actually.
Because,
He used to play on a massive widescreen TV.
I know, but where are they? It just frustrates me not knowing what they're up to. You know?
Well, they mentioned at some point, in Valve, making a universal controller.
Which would have been great.
Yeah.
But seeing as though they still fucking can't get their head around the difference between X input and direct input.
So the whole kind of system as well for this universal controller would be, if you've ever played a game that's controller input, so like you need an Xbox controller or a PS3 controller or whatever, they would be able to get this Valve controller into every single one of those games, basically.
Yeah. The idea being that it would be a new standard of controller.
Yeah.
That would function with all of these games, so you wouldn't have that problem of buying a game and not knowing whether it's direct input or X input. Now, I wrote to Gabe N saying, fucking sort this out, clarify the store page, because there's too many games on there that are listed as controller enabled, but it doesn't specify which controller they're enabled for.
Well, you did that.
And they went on, didn't they? And what was that game I bought?
I can't remember.
I can't remember what game it was I bought, but it might have been Half Minute Hero, and it specifically said that it's X input and direct input compatible.
Yeah.
Bought it, switched it on, X input only. It's like, yeah, well done. Well done at failing again, Valve. Oh, that's my rant. That's my rant about fucking controllers.
Really give me some good entertainment at the moment. Binding of Isaac.
Binding of Isaac is awesome.
Oh,
I must admit. Yeah, I've been having great fun with Binding of Isaac.
I got it ages ago, didn't I?
Yeah.
And I actually went to Portugal, and that's why I had like slow uploads on my channel. Not that anyone probably has come from there.
Yeah.
If you did, shout out from you and maybe leave a comment.
Might. I mean, we're getting a steady trickle of subscribers, which is very nice.
But anyway, I went to Portugal and took my laptop with me, and my laptop is massively backdated now.
Yeah.
It's got like a 300 Radeon card
It's
in it.
still a solid little
And,
laptop.
Yeah. Mine obviously has heat problem anyway because the fan's a bit buggered on it.
Yeah.
But I was in Portugal, one of the hottest places, and we had this propped up on like an iced tea carton to kind of cool it down with a cooler inside the iced tea carton. And I was playing Binding of Isaac. And I played Binding of Isaac for a massive amount of time that I was just like in Portugal. And to be honest, it was really, really, really fun.
It is a good game. It's a good, well-made little game, that, I must admit. Proof again that like indie developers are where it's at.
Well, the moment, like, even Notch said that indie developers are doing magic at the moment.
On my Steam profile, I left my on New Year's Eve. I left my top 5 best and top 5 worst games for the year, and it's like on the top 5, only one of them was a big title. The other 4 were indies.
I could do that because I enjoy quite a few games.
I know.
I had my pick of like indie games,
but it was still quite easy to pick out the best and the worst of the bunch.
Well, my indie games would be like I quite like Project Zomboid.
Yeah, but
So
it's not
that would
as
be on there.
technically it hasn't been released yet.
It hasn't been released, no. But if you go
So
and
it wouldn't be
purchase
eligible.
it on this server, you're meant to get a Steam key, and it's meant to be all kind of like coming in.
But I only went off releases for the year.
Did you hear why as well? They've not released it on Steam at the moment.
Why?
Apparently, their funding has dropped below what they wanted, and there's only 4 of them doing it.
Yeah.
So, as they said, 3 of them don't work. Only one of them does. And he's saying at the moment, while he's working, he's funding the food for everyone and all that. And he's saying, like, it's human resources, basically. And the only way for them to do it is to, like, launch a Kickstarter, everyone give them the money, and then they run from there. But as they said, they don't want to do that, because what happens if the game's not complete and the money runs out?
Yeah.
Because with them only being 4 of them, it's quite hard to do. So they've just asked everyone at the moment, if you are, like, wanting, you know, Project Zombie to come out and everything, they're asking kind of, like, you to be a bit lenient with them with time and such.
I don't know why they don't release just the pre-order for Steam, because I'd pre-order it.
I think the main problem they've got at the moment is
I'd be well happy pre-ordering.
They also said as well that if anyone came into the game now and looked at it, it would get bad press because it is massively
Yeah,
beta.
it's still a beta.
And it's got a lot of bad things in it.
They're not lying about it. They're happy to
they did
point
do
out
something
it's
as well
still
though.
beta.
One of the people, because they released it for modding, and they have a modding website, and someone actually went and modded it for them. And they took the modder on board as someone to actually construct code for them.
Nice.
Because he was so good at modding, and they said, look, mate, if you can mod our game that good, you can probably build it better than us.
Got yet another siege going on here.
A lot of green slime and such.
Don't really care about them anymore.
Although we are over the time limit as well.
Yeah, we're over time. I was hoping they'd finish this strip of roof off, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen.
So a few more episodes building the roof, guys, but we've had a lot of banter going this time.
We're getting there. This roof's close to getting finished. Now, I reckon we're going to call the app here and call it for the night as well.
You know what we should do as well?
And do another recording session.
Because like, you read the comments more than me, but I might get a bit more entangled now. Is people should suggest to you about a news story or anything they'd like to hear discussed.
Oh yeah,
anything they want to hear.
I mean,
it doesn't have to be news.
We have got a couple of people I've seen commenting quite regularly now. Craig Gummersall has been leaving quite a lot of comments.
So shout out to you.
There is another guy and I can't remember his name now. God, I've replied to quite a few of his comments recently as well. It was the guy who was on about the iron mines, I think. Do I need to make people soldiers? Oh, fuck it. Yeah, so it's like people are commenting and stuff, so, you know, feel free to get involved. And
any discussions you want us to look
if there's something you want us to talk about, or if you've got any suggestions on what game you'd like us to see when we eventually abandon towns, then let us know. We'll let them finish killing these guys before we call it.
We're obviously trying to do as much.
Slime's on the roof now.
Yeah, they're being a bit weird. We're obviously trying to do as much towns as possible, but if it does update...
I mean, sooner or later, I think the patch is going to put an end to it.
We turned off the updates, though, didn't we?
We did turn off the updates, but a lot of games on Steam, when they update, it won't let you play until you update.
Yeah.
That's the bit that I'm worried about.
That's the main problem we can't have at the moment.
And if that happens, we are going to have to abandon towns.
Unless, of course, it does become backward compatible, which at the moment
no,
they said
it's not. It's going to be future backwards compatible, if that makes any sense.
Well, yeah, from the future kind of.
Yeah, from that point on, it will be backwards compatible. But
anyway,
but not retroactively.
We can end it there, can't we?
Yeah, we'll call it there, Vel, and we'll have another session on Wednesday. I reckon we'll get this fucking roof finished, and then we can do the same for this building over here, which thankfully shouldn't take us long. Because there's not as much wall space. Walls seem to be the issue.
Might be a bit laid back on this. They got this sign.
Yeah, I know, that's why. But that's why it's a good night to do it. So, pausing. There we go. Alpha Lost, centre screen. Getting his screen time for the episode there. So we'll see you later, folks.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.